Hello everyone, I'm FARMERSIM and welcome back to Etruria. I do hope you're all doing very, very well and having a wonderful day. So, we're in May. It's a lovely day. Let me just try and get this trigger here. Where are we? There we are. So, we're on a bit of wheat in here. I'm just on a bit of a mission feeding the pigs, giving them a bit of a top-up before we crack on. Now, we're in a kind of a decent place at the minute on the farm here. On the series, we've all the pig food that we need to plant is in the ground and growing nicely. The next big job, arable-wise, is going to be the barley, which should be ready to harvest next month in June, I think. So, yeah, we've got that to come. But yeah, everything else is in the ground, and of course, we've got every single sugar beet available to us over in the shed over there, thanks to our massive sugar beet harvest several episodes back. But yeah, so we're in quite a decent place. So what I need to concentrate on today, first and foremost, is trying my very best to do this all in cab. It is quite a challenge, I'm sure you'll agree. I'm sure a few of you can relate to this. It's practice makes perfect at the end of the day, but yeah, just trying my best to do things from cab if I can at all most of the time. So yeah, yeah, what I want to concentrate on today is the grass. We've got 2 fields of grass to get cut, to mow, and what I can do, because what I did mention a couple of episodes ago, is because we have 300,000 litres of grass in bale form over in next to us in the storage shed, I think I can now afford to profit from these from this cut, possibly the next 2 cuts maybe. Well, quite possibly. The sheep don't go through the grass very quickly at all, and with 300,000 litres of the stuff there to pull back on, I'm pretty confident that we should be able to definitely profit from the next couple of cuts. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to cut it, and we are going to turn it to silage. We're going to wrap them, turn the bales to silage, and I've not done myself many favours there. I should have just reversed right back out, shouldn't I? Really got the room to turn around there. There we are. Lovely stuff. So yeah, but moving forward as well, something that I've been pondering over. I've done it several times before. It's if you're been around the channel for a while, you know I've done this a couple of times before. But I'm going to today is going to be new tractor day. I've just made an executive decision that I'm going to sell the Deutzer there and get something different and profit from it, as I always tend to do. Now, I'm sure a few of you can relate to this, and it's when I started the series, one of the things I said I wanted to do was to try my best to kind of sample different machinery, stuff that I don't ordinarily use, and I have done that. I mean, just take this thing for example, the Cenobogan that we're in at the minute. I always have tended to gravitate towards using things like the JCB telehandler and the Merlot, for example. They're ones that I've used quite often, and yeah, there's nothing wrong with them. They work perfectly well, they function perfectly and do the job of a telehandler and a tractor perfectly well. But it's just one of those things that, you know, when you just have the tractors, the machinery that you like to use. You know, it's just one of those things. Like I said, there's absolutely nothing wrong with the Deutscher. It's a brilliant tractor, but it's just a bit meh, dare I say it. And the opportunity is there, thanks to the wonderful world of mods that we have in this game. Right, what do I want from here? I want some sorghum from here. There we go. Get some sorghum into there. Nice and cheap. What's that going to cost us? 1,290 euros. Brilliant. But yeah, it's an opportunity that it's not gonna be missed. I'm gonna be making, hopefully, somewhere in the region of about 70 grand by selling the Deutscher and buying something that's equally as capable. The tractor that I'm looking to get, it's a Fendt. It's an older Fendt. It's a Fendt Favorite. It's by Schnibble Modding. I think originally the tractor itself is from the 90s, I think, roughly. But it's a brilliant tractor, and it's one that I've actually fiddled with as well. I've actually, those of you who've been watching my Saxlingham series know that I've done a little bit of faffing around with engine noises. It's a bumpy one, that, isn't it? Faffing around with engine noises, and I've done the same thing with this Fendt Favorite. Again, it just adds, for me personally, and like I said before, I'm sure a few of you might be able to relate to this, but it just adds a little bit more, I don't know, soul, I don't know, to the vehicles itself, instead of them just being the same sounds that we're used to, and, you know, just, yes, they do the same thing, but just having something that's just that little bit unique just adds to the excitement, I suppose, of playing the game, and just being able to have that little bit of uniqueness to what we're doing. So, right, what do I want now? I want some sunflowers now. There we go. And that should be all the pigs sorted out for the near future. Obviously, we've got the crops that I've bought in here. Of course, we've got some soybeans in the ground, and we've got some sorghum in the ground as well. So, of course, the next few months, I suppose, I'm just going to be buying it in cheaply from that buy point there until we've got our own to fall back on. But yeah, when it comes to the vehicles, just having something that has a little bit more soul to it, have something that just suits you as a player, I suppose, is what I'm trying to say. And I have sampled that Deutscher. It's like I said, there's nothing wrong with it. It works perfectly fine. It does everything that you need it to do. But it's just nice to have that something that just makes you go, yeah, I enjoy being in this particular tractor or whatever it might be. So yeah, that's the plan. But like I say, most importantly, I'm going to profit from it to the tune of hopefully somewhere in the region of about 70,000 euros. And that's what matters at the end of the day, getting some money into the bank. Now, of course, we're not too bad. We've got 75 grand in the bank. We're not completely destitute. The bank account isn't completely empty. But it's just nice to be able to do these things, isn't it, now and again, and just make a bit of money, a bit of wheeling and dealing. It's how I've always done it, I suppose. We all play how we play, don't we? And it's just how I've always done things. Started out a series, started out a save or whatever, and then a little bit further down the line realised that you can make some money just by selling a tractor and changing it up. So I've given it a wash, given it a clean. It's had a service. I think I did that a couple of episodes ago, didn't I? So it's at peak condition. Oh no, I haven't. That was the weight. Goodness me. Let's go do that. It feels like the right thing to do, doesn't it? Oh, was it the Fiat I did that with? I can't remember actually. And if I do this, it's going to drop the weight off, isn't it? But I think. So let's repair that. Yeah, 2,000 euros. There we go. Oh no, it didn't. There we go. So that's now in the best condition it would be to go and sell it and chop it in. But yeah, just something I'd like to do. We all play our own way, don't we? So, I'm going to get down to the shop, and we'll see what we get for this one. Now, all the finances that I've worked out, saying I'm going to be making about 70 odd grand, that hadn't taken into account 2 grand there, just throwing it at getting it serviced, but and also it hadn't factored in any increase in value that we'll get from taking things to the dealership. So we might get a little bit more. We shall see. So anyway, see you down there in a moment. Right then, let's get this done. There is something kind of special in a way about a new track today, don't you think, ladies and gentlemen? It's just nice to add that little bit of variety into a series. or into a save that you're playing, it's just nice to change things up now and again. Like I said before, there's absolutely nothing wrong with this thing. It's a good tractor. It's been a great tractor, to be honest. But yeah, just a bit of wheeling and dealing. It's just how I like to do things. So let's have a look. So 215014. That's a lot more than what it said in the menu. That's... Goodness me, we could be knocking on the door of about 100,000 euros to profit from here. So I'm going to be changing out the weight as well, because there's another weight, another Fendt weight that has been released recently on the Mod Hub, and it's one of my favourites that I used back in 22 by STV Modding. I'll show you that one in a minute anyway. So we'll sell this one. There we go. Sell that 2,790. Yep, and sell that for 215,014. Nice. Very good. Look at that. Right, okay, so let's get straight in and buy ourselves our shiny new tractor now. Here it is, the Fendt 900 Fendt Favorite series by Schnibble Modding. We are going to add a few things to it. It's got a couple of top speed variants, so we're going to go for the 926 40 kilometers an hour. We don't need to do 50 kilometers an hour on here. We're going to give it some big chunkies. My favourites, BKTs. So we don't need twin wheels or anything, but I do quite like the stance of that one with its big chunky tires. Now this, I suppose this is one of the there's always a pro and con to everything that we do here, isn't there? But I don't need reverse driving. The one thing that this doesn't have, a feature that the Deutsche did have, is the ability to equip it with narrow tires. But I don't think I really need narrow tires. We've done all of our fertilizing in our fields with our seed drill, so there's no need for me to go into my fields. We subsoil, so there's no weeds. There's no need for me to be going into my fields essentially until harvest time. So I don't need to worry, I don't think, about narrow tires. So we don't need to give it GPS because that doesn't function really. It's just a thing. We're going to give it a kind of a straight pipe. We're going to go for the normal long fenders at the back there, put the front exhaust on the front license plate on the exhaust if need be. Where are we? Exhaust grid, we want stainless steel. A few of these do come at no extra cost. We're in Europe, so we give it the warning signs. We'll give it some LED lights just because there's no extra cost. I can't actually tell what these reflectors do. I can't really see any amendment to that, so we're going to give it the front PTO, of course, because that's exactly what we need. We are going to go for the Isaria Pro Compact system as well, of course, and I am going to give it a custom colour. Now we're going to go for the Fendt petrol colour. I am a sucker for this colour. I don't know why. It's just one of those things. We'll change the grille colour as well, and we're going to go for some grey wheels because I just think it looks better. We all have our personal opinions about these kind of things, don't you? But I'm going to go for one of my custom grey colours. There we are. Nice. So 119,509. There we are. Yep. Purchase. Thank you very much. And the front weight by STV Modding again. Like I said, it's got a feature. It's just got a visual feature on it that just makes it look cool, in my personal opinion. It's got a bit of a rope on the front of it there. So it comes in two variants. I think you can have a really big heavy one at 2,500 kilos, which I think is a bit much for this particular tractor. But 1,250 kilos there. We'll keep it the same colour. The design colour, the rope there. I did have a faff around with this, but I've got a custom bronze metallic colour that if I stick that on the rope, to me, it kind of looks pretty cool. So for 1,200 quid, there we are. We've even made a little bit of money on the weight as well. There we are. Lovely stuff. Welcome to my new office, ladies and gentlemen. There we are. Lovely stuff. And there we are. It's got the Perkins diesel engine. That's what I've messed around with this one. It sounds absolutely brilliant. Now, I suppose I could have done that to the Deutz as well, but it just felt a bit... didn't feel right in my mind because it was too much of a new tractor in that respect. So let me just jump in here and amend my FOV here. I always have my in-cab view set to 75. I just feel it works better. But there we are, 170,000 euros in the bank now. So yeah, we've made, as near as it makes no difference, 100 grand just from selling a tractor. Now this one, like I said, the con of it, I suppose, is the fact that I can't equip it with narrow tyres if I needed to. The pros are, it's more powerful, and I've made a load of money. What can I say? And it sounds amazing, in my personal opinion. It really does. It sounds quite loud in my headphones. I do hope this isn't drowning you out in any way on the recording. But yeah, it just sounds mega. It really does. And since I've discovered how relatively straightforward it is to do engine swaps. It's just nice to be able to enjoy that. So here we are. I think, like I said, I think this is from the 90s, this Favorite model. So personally, I've just always appreciated and enjoyed the slightly older model of tractors and machinery that we can use here on Farming Simulator. I suppose because we are now where we are within the life cycle of FarmSim 25, there are thousands of mods out there by some incredible modders, and it's just nice to be able to enjoy them. I know I said at the beginning of this series, like I said before, that I was going to try and use more machinery that I don't often use, and I've kind of done that, and I don't think I've used this too much in any of my series so far, actually. I think I did use it. I think I had this over on my Judith Plains series. That wasn't really a series, I just made a few videos on it, but I think I did use that on there. But yeah, it's nice to have it here on Etruria in Italy. Right, anyway, so we need to crack on with a bit of work now, don't we? We're going to go and focus on the grasswork and get these get this grass mowed, baled and wrapped, and eventually turn that into money as well. It just sounds like it's got so much grunt, this thing. It really does. This engine prefab thing is brilliant. It really is. Forgive me for babbling on about it, ladies and gentlemen, but yeah, it's just one of those nice little enjoyable things. So first and foremost, I need to drop off this front weight for that. Let's just stick that there for now. So we have got it's the relatively basic mower setup, of course. We don't this mower can't it can't swath or anything like that. It just cuts it, so we'll need to run the rower afterwards. So we've got a little bit of work to get cracking on with now for the next couple of hours. Get this grass mown, rowed, baled up, wrapped. And what I have actually done as well in between episodes, I have made a little bit of an amendment to my bale handling capacity. There we are. I have picked up the bale grab the bale grab lizard thing there that auto loads 3 bales at a time, I think it is, onto the front, just to make manoeuvring the bales a little bit more straightforward and a little bit neater. So, here we are, right. And the other thing I'm going to put to the test is a big shout out to Welsh Sim Farmer, who yesterday over on Discord, we spent a bit of time conversing, having a few messages back and to. He's helped me sort out a few things with my Stream Deck, so now I should be able to unfold everything in one go at the touch of a button. There we go. That's cool, how cool. And then we can turn them on. Yes. And then lower them all down, again, at the touch of a button. On the back one, don't let me down. No pun intended. Nice. Right. Let's get working. Right then, out with the rower now. I figured I'd get ahead of myself a little bit, and we're just finishing off now. We're on the first of the two headlands, getting it done. But I'm hoping we're going to do all right out of this, money-wise. Anyway, obviously, like I said before, we're going to be baling up and wrapping as well, and getting them picked up, stashed away for a bit, and letting them ferment. And we'll see what one of the local sell points will give us for the silage in a few weeks' time when it's fermented. So yeah. Should be pretty good, and like I said before, I'm hoping there's a possibility, a very strong possibility based on the fact that we've got 300,000 litres of grass in bale form sitting there in the shed, that we might be able to get the next cut as well into silage and get a bit of money in the bank as a result of that. So yeah, fingers crossed, we'll see how it goes. But yeah, the swaths don't look too big from here though, to be fair, compared to some, but I'm hoping, I mean, everything was done right, the field was prepared right, there was light, it was limed, it was fertilised. It's admittedly the soil, a huge portion of this field is silty clay. If we jump very quickly into the precision farming menu and have a quick look, so the yields, as you can see in field 41 here, the yields in the yellow there, I think, where we're going to say about 85, 90%, yeah, predominantly 90%, with a chunk of 125% in the top corner of the field there. But yeah, so we've not done too bad. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, a quick update for those of you who are new to the series and who've joined as a result of this episode. So welcome to you all. If you are new, please do consider hitting that subscribe button if you like what you see. Hit the like button too if you can. That does do wonders. But yeah, a quick update on where we're up to on the farm and what we've got field-wise. So I did mention very quickly before that all the pig food is in the ground that we're catering for. But we've got a field of wheat here. Let me go to the correct... Where are we here? Field of wheat in field 6. Now, this is actually a cash crop. This is going to be due to harvest July, August in a couple of months' time. That's a cash crop, so that's good. Field 42 here is the barley. That's going to be ready to go in June and July as well, very soon, but a little bit earlier than the wheat. That is going towards the grain side of the pig food. Field 43 here is split into two. This is we've got... the red here is apples. Now, this is a crop that's unique to this map, but it's quite interesting. It works the same way as grapes and olives. There's a unique apple harvester that I purchased a couple of episodes ago, relatively cheap. And also a vineyard tractor as well to cope with the narrow gaps in between the vines. But yes, we've got a cash crop of apples here. I'm very keen to see how they turn out. And the other part of the field that I separated is the soybeans. Now, the soybeans are also a cash crop. They're going to be ready to go in October, November time. And then down here, we've got some slightly larger fields. We've got field 49, which is a field of sorghum. That's going to be ready to go August, September. And that is towards the base food of the pigs. And then we've got field 50 here, the big one on the hill. This is canola, and that's going to be ready to go July, August again. And that's towards the protein side of the pigs. Now, of course, root crops. Again, this is primarily for those of you who are new to the series. So apologies to regular viewers who've heard me babble on about this repeatedly, episode after episode. But obviously, we've got a huge stack of sugar beets over in the shed up there that I'm sure you saw me loading up from before, north of 800,000 litres, I think it was, when we first put them in there. So yeah, we've got all the sugar beets, so root crops were sorted. The pigs are sorted for the root crop side of things as well, so that's great. So we're doing right, we're doing really, really well. And obviously this is just one of the grass fields. We've got a second grass field to go as well, and that's the same story. It stands with that one as well. Hopefully 2 cuts out of these 2. Bailed up for silage, cash in the bank, fingers crossed. So, and now we're sitting at 170,000 euros as a result of the chopping and changing, wheeling and dealing that I did before. Fingers crossed, we should be quite good. Now, don't get me wrong, I don't have a plan in mind. I don't have a, right, I'm going to buy this and we're going to buy that next or anything like that. It's just a case of, I suppose it's just one of the main aims that we go for with this game, isn't it? Is to try and get as much money as we can into the bank. I'm sure, you know, following in real life, you know, real farmers are really struggling in this current day and age, aren't we, for money. It can be very challenging at times, so I suppose that's one of the things that we mirror in this game as well, isn't it? Just trying to keep up to earning money and keep as much money in the bank as possible. But yeah, like I say, I'm not too sure exactly what I'm going to spend it on. Obviously, the ideal thing is we go for a bit more land, don't we? We try and invest more money into the farm, more land, and keep the money coming in that way. But yeah, anyway, so I'm going to crack on anyway, finish off here with the rowing, and then we're going to jump in the baler and get all this lot baled up, wrapped up, and get it picked up with my new bale stacker. I'm not going to pop them in the shed. I'm not going to pop them in the bale and pallet storage system. I'm just going to put them loose just up there behind the trees on that little plateau of land there next to the entrance to the pig pasture. That's the plan anyway. I'll just stack them up neatly there, and we'll see what we get out of this field and see what happens from there. So let's crack on, get busy. Well, we've done a bit better out of that than I thought we would have done. We've got 42 bales off of this field at 150 centimetre bales, 5,500 litres each, has given us 231,000 litres at the minute of grass. Now, when that translates into selling into silage, it stands at a decent amount of money. We've got, at the minute, the price is relatively low at the minute. It doesn't rise by a lot, but it rises by a couple of euros. But if I sell that in a few months' time when it's fermented, at whatever price we're going to get, it should translate to about 27,000 euros, I think. That's where it stands to sit us at, which is a pretty decent amount of money. Now, I'm really grateful and I'm happy that I did invest in this Pro Bale Lizard Loader thing that I've got on the front of the telehandler here. This has saved me so much time. It's taken me about 45 minutes to get all those picked up. I did say before that I was going to put them all here for some reason. I had it in my mind I was just going to have them here in their own little stack and wait for them to ferment and then load them up onto the trailer. But 42 bales, I kind of thought, no, that's going to fill this whole place and it'll look a right mess. So yeah, stuck them in the in the bale shed for now. It makes more sense, doesn't it? But do you know what? This thing, I'm so happy that I purchased this and done the little wheeling and dealing that I did at the beginning of the episode. I know it's a very small thing, and I'm sure a lot of you can relate to this, but when it comes to this series and for the, you know, for this save, something wasn't sitting right with me, and I couldn't put my finger on what it was. And it's the little things, right? Sometimes we like what we like, don't we? And I prefer older, noisier, more smoky equipment, I suppose. So that's why, you know, I love the F-140 that we've got there. And this thing now, the Deutz is a great tractor. There's nothing wrong with it whatsoever. But just because I don't ordinarily use them, it just didn't feel me, if that makes any sense. Again, I'm sure some of you can relate to that. Those of you who, you know, play this game a lot, you'll probably gravitate towards the similar machinery and tractors. And when it comes to tractors anyway, I'm sure you will gravitate towards the same stuff. I know a few people who do. I know a few people are very you know, very loyal to brands. They like the John Deeres, they like their cases and all that kind of stuff. I'm not really loyal to a brand per se. I just like the older equipment. And this thing, now that it's got the old noisy Perkins diesel engine in as well, it sounds amazing when it's under load up a hill like that, because this field is quite hilly, let's be honest. It does put your machinery to the test. It sounds incredible, it really does. So yeah, I'm dead chuffed that I've got this now. I really am. It just feels much more me. Anyway, so yeah, we done good out of that. 42 bales, somewhere in the region of 27 to 30,000 euros in the bank come sell time in a couple of months' time when it's fermented. But yeah, very happy with that. So that's one grass field dealt with. In the next episode, we'll crack on with the second grass field. We're not going to get anywhere near as much out of that. It's probably just over half the size of this. This sits at just remind myself actually, but this one sits at 6.4 acres, and field 2 round the back there is 3.95. So yeah, we're not going to get anywhere near as much, but we will add to that collection of silage bales in there, bringing that 27,000 euros potential in the future a little bit higher as well. So that's all good. But for today's episode, ladies and gentlemen, I am going to call it here. Thank you very much for watching. I really do hope you have enjoyed the episode and found it a little bit of fun and a little bit interesting. As always, if you're new to the channel and you've enjoyed the video and you like the way I'm doing things, please consider hitting that subscribe button and jumping on board, joining the channel. Please hit that like button too, as it does do wonders. It helps the YouTube algorithm do its thing. And if you like the idea of supporting the channel, there are a couple of ways you can do that. There is my Giants Partner promo code if you're looking to purchase Farming Simulator 25 or any of its add-ons or DLCs. There is coffee.com if you'd like to buy me a coffee. And there is also my G-Portal affiliate link if any of you are looking to purchase a multiplayer server to play with your mates. All the links to these will be in the video description below. Any help and support with these would be hugely appreciated. So, thank you very much for your time again, ladies and gentlemen. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one.